Hey guys, it's TRX Master Instructor Amy McMullen, and today I've got a 45-minute full body strength workout for you. We're going to be incorporating the TRX suspension trainer and the rip trainer. So you're going to need both of those pieces of gear handy. You're going to want a mat for the floor work, and go ahead and grab some water if you want. For those of you that want a little bit of an extra challenge when we get to the lunges, if you'd like to add some extra weight to that, go ahead and grab a med ball or a slam ball, a kettlebell, a weight vest, something like that. So you've got lots of options here. What we've got for you today are 3 rip trainer exercises that we're going to do on both the right side and then the left side. And then we're going to have 2 TRX exercises for you guys, the Trx Lunge and the Trx side plank. Same deal. Those are going to be unilateral moves. So one side and then the other side. So we're going to have a lot of balance and core work for you guys today. And we've got 3 rounds of these exercises. So each round is going to get progressively harder. You can take those challenges if you want them. You can not take them if you want them. Think of it as like a buffet. You take as much as you want. Not that we're ever going to buffets again. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. All right. So I'm going to hit go on my timer. Oh, if you are tracking your workout, I forget this all the time. Go ahead and hit start on that bad boy, whatever kind of fitness tracker you've got. I don't know about you guys, but I want the credit for this. All right. So even if it's just, my watch telling me good job, I will take it these days. So we are going to start on the straps. We've got a TRX squat row and a squat fly. So we've got a lot of different shoulder angles that we're going to rock out today. So we want to go ahead and get the body ready for that. So standing facing your anchor point, leaning back with palms down and feet wide, back nice and flat. So tailbone drops to the floor for your squat. Pull your chest to your hands for the high row, and then you're going to take the squat, keep the arms almost straight, pull yourself up into a Y fly, and then back down. So we're going to alternate one squat with a high row, and then one squat with a Y fly. On each of those, when you get to the upper body part, keep your hips straight so that you don't do like what I call the body roll on the way up. All right, so flip around. We're going to take the same thing with the fly. It's going to go out to the side and up. We're going to take an alternating T fly and Y fly added with some forward lunges. So feet together, palms down out in front of your shoulders. I'm going to take a step forward, drop my back knee, and step together, arms going straight out to the side. And then on the next 2 reps, I'm going to take my arms overhead in a Y shape for a lunge on each leg. All right. Back to my T-fly, thumbs up, drop the back knee as I step forward, drive up through my front heel, and now my Y-fly, step forward, drop the back knee, arms are in a Y shape overhead. All right, rollouts. So palms are going to go down, hands are as high as the shoulders. I'm coming up onto my toes, I'm straightening my hips, so my plank, I've got like a standing plank from head to feet. I'm going to raise my arms overhead, and I'm just trying to go as far as I can, keeping that straight line plank. I'll scoot back just a tiny little bit for some more range of motion here. And I'm just getting all those muscles around my spine ready to stabilize. When we get over to the rip today, we're going to need that stabilization. So we're just trying to get the body ready for it now. All right, step back lunges. Go ahead and face your anchor point. We're going to keep our elbows at our sides. We're going to keep our straps tight, feet together. We're going to alternate our lunges behind us. So I want you to step back on your toe as soon as the foot hits the ground. Drop the knees straight down and step together. Step back on the ball of your foot. As soon as that foot, once both feet are in contact with the ground, you want to think moving straight down and up. All right? So foot touches, hips go down. So you shift back for a second, but then you're going straight down. Think of it like an elevator move. There you go. So body up nice and tall, nice easy grip on the straps, and rest. I think we've got a T-spine rotation. Yeah. So I'm going to grab the foot cradles with my right hand. I'm going to put my forearm in front of my torso, standing sideways to the anchor point, free arm on top, outside toe to the back, deep breath in. And I'm going to take a big exhale out, leaning back, and taking a little twist that way. And I'm going to pull myself back up. So I'm going to follow this free hand with my eyes, taking myself around and then pulling myself back up from there. Nice and tall with the torso. Big exhale as you come around. When you get to the top, big inhale here. And let's take one more rep and switch sides. So I'm going to grab the foot cradles with my left hand now. I'm turning sideways to the anchor point. My left arm is in front of me. My free arm is going to go on the top. My outside toe is going to go on the back, and I'm going to tuck my hips under so I don't arch my back, which I want to do. I'm going to roll back on this arm using the free arm to curl around. This arm with the straps is going to pull me back up to the top. So deep breath in here. And big exhale out. Okay, I'm pull myself back up to standing. Deep breath in. Thinking nice and tall throughout my spine. Big exhale out. Lengthening out from there. All right, so in 1 minute, we're going to start with a rip. I got to turn my AC down so that I don't roast during this workout. Everybody go to your rip trainers. All right, and we're going to stick our left hand in the safety strap first, okay? So here's your safety strap. Hand goes in at the very end of it, and I'm going to use this other hand to toggle up, all right? So now with the rip trainer, quick review. Both palms down in the middle of the black grips. We call this mid zones, okay? Both hands in the middle of the grips is mid zones. Zone 1, if I use zone numbers, zone 1 is down here by the safety strap. Zone 2 is right next to it. 3 is the center junction of the bar. 4 is here, and 5 is down here by the power cord, all right? So we are gonna start with the rip row. Hands, palms down in the mid zones, facing the anchor point with the center of the bar lined up with the center of our chest and the anchor. I'm going to pull the bar into my chest and scoot back. We're going to take 30 seconds, reach the bar forward, and then row to your chest. Reach the bar forward to the anchor, pull it to your chest. I'm trying to stay up as tall as I can be. I'm going to take a little bend of my knees here, just so I stay really stable in my foot stance. And the harder you want this, the more you can scoot away from the anchor point, all right? We got 3 seconds left, and rest. Second exercise is the rip stack. My left hand is gonna stay palm down. My right hand, or my power hand, the one closest to the power cord, is gonna go palm up. We're gonna stay in the mid zones for now. I'm facing sideways to the anchor point, and I'm gonna pull my left hand, my base hand, to my hip. I'm gonna stick the right hand forward, so this bar is right in front of my hip, and then I'm going to release. Pull the base hand to my hip, power hand and power cord go forward, right in front of that left hip, and release. If I feel like I've got some more, I'm going to come a little bit further away from the anchor point, trying to leave my hips and my shoulders straight forward, and release. So these are just some small isometric holds. Body tall, and release. We've got a rip press. So both palms are going down. I'm going to turn away from the anchor point this time, center of the bar lined up with the center of my chest, and I'm going to press the bar forward. From here, I'm going to step forward to take on a little bit more resistance, trying to stay tall in my torso, and then I'm just going to take some chest presses here. So knees are bent. I'm going to try to fight the urge to lean forward so I can try to keep my head right over my hips. So you should feel this in your chest, probably a lot in your right shoulder and right triceps, and in your core, all right? So I have to always fight to try to get rid of the rib flare, so I'm thinking hiding my ribs the whole time. Now we're gonna repeat those 3 moves on the other side. So let the bar hang, uncinch this, slide your other hand in, and then re-cinch it up. Doesn't have to be super tight. We're starting with the rip row. So both palms are down in the mid zones. I'm gonna pull the bar to my chest first, then I'm gonna walk back to load myself up, and then I'm gonna row. So reach the arms towards the anchor point, pull the bar to my chest. Reach the arms towards the anchor, pull the bar to my chest. So it's easy to scrunch your shoulders up here by your ears. So what I'm trying to think about is the longest neck possible. So my shoulders are down, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together in the back. I'm fighting that urge to let my ribs pop forward. And I'm just trying to take this row for the back of my shoulders and rest. We're going to that rip stack, so we need to turn sideways. So I'm going to face the other side this time. My power hand, the one closest to the power cord, in this case my left hand, is going palm up. My right hand is staying palm down. I'm going to scoot in first, take a little bit of resistance as I find this stack position. So my right hand is coming to my hip, the bar is pointing right out in front of my hip, and then I'm going to relax. I can do a little bit more, so I'm going to scoot away from the anchor point, point the bar straight out in front of me, little isometric hold, and then back. I can go a little bit more. I'm trying to keep my shoulders back and my body nice and tall. So stack position, release the bar. Stack position, I'm going to hold it for these last 2 seconds, and release the bar. Rip press. Both hands go palms down. I'm going to make sure I'm in line with the anchor point. Center of the bar to the center of my sternum, or sternum's here. Press the bar out, step forward, add some load, and then I'm going to take that chest press just straight out. Now, if you can see my wrist, I'm trying to keep my wrists straight. I'm trying not to let them punch up like this, which is easy if you're not paying attention. So I know there's a lot to think about here, but knees are bent. And then pace is going to be up to you, all right? So now this is a strength workout, meaning we're going for a high load and not a ton of reps. So a little bit slower, but with as much load as you can manage. So keep that in mind. If you want to go faster, you can do that because I can't see you or do anything about it. So you do what you want. We're going over here now to the straps. We have a Trx Balance Lunge on one leg. So let's go ahead and take the straps to mid-calf length. Normally we would do this at mid-length, so handles at the bottom of your kneecaps, but our next exercise is mid-calf and it's not going to affect this exercise, so we'll just make things faster. Facing the anchor point, elbows at your sides. I'm going to line up my left foot with the anchor. I'm going to step my right foot back, so I'm going to drop this knee towards the floor. I'm going to get my arms ready with some tension on them, and then I'm going to hover this back foot. If I can stay in this position, I'm going to step together and then go back down, but I'm not going to put the foot down. So this is the Trx Balance Lunge. I drop the knee and drive up through my front heel. The knee is going almost to the ground. You decide how far down you go, but there's a lot more tension in the upper body now. I'm straightening my arms a little bit to keep my head right over my hips. And if you want, you can knee up for a little bit more of a balance challenge. Other side, so I'm going to take my right foot this time, center it with the anchor point, elbows at my sides, left leg up. So I'm going to start with the step back lunge just to kind of get my bearings, making sure that I'm not sticking my booty out. So tucking my hips under, dropping the knee. Now straighten, or not straighten, but strengthen up the arms, put some tension there. Take the back foot off and then drive up and together. I can tap the foot. I'm going to drop my back knee to a hover and then stand all the way up. So the free leg, my left leg, can either step together or I can knee up, but whichever level you're doing, I want to make sure that the leg that I'm standing on, the knee is straightening and the hip is straightening. So I've got this nice long line where all my joints are stacked up over the ankle, okay? So from now we're going to this side plank. So your strap should already be at mid-calf length. You're going to probably want a mat unless you've got a nice cushy surface. I'm going to make my foot cradles a little bit bigger, so I've got lots of space for these big old shoes. And then we're getting our toes in. So I'm going to rock back, put my toes in, and then turn over on my side. So elbow under my shoulder. I'm in line with the anchor point. My feet are even, and my heel and toe are together. So I'm going to press up into this side plank. Hips are high. And then I'm going to try to open my chest to the front. And then if you've got your balance, so if your feet are totally still and you are in control of this move, I'm going to straighten my hips forward to make sure I'm in a straight line. And then I'm going to take my arm off to try to find the balance. If you don't want that, keep your arm on the floor. If you're wobbling, you're not ready for that arm off yet. You want to get completely still and stable, and then you can take the arm off, all right? Hand down, hips down. Let's roll to our stomachs to roll to the other side. So when I swoosh over that way, I might travel. So I'm going to do a quick check to make sure I'm in line with my anchor. I'm going to even out my feet, push my heel to my toe. My top leg is in the front. Elbow under shoulder, top hand to the floor. Same deal. I'm going to press my hips up, nice and high. I'm going to straighten my hips forward. So that's going to put me in line. Head ribs, hips, feet, kind of all in one line here. And then if I'm super stable and I want the harder option, then I'm going to hover this hand and then I can take it up. All right? Hips stay high and forward. Try to look at the wall in front of you. You're going to want to look down at the floor. You might even want to check your abs out to see if they're peaking, but try to look forward. Your abs are there regardless. Hand down, hips down, and come on out of there. So we're going back to the rip, but I want you to get your straps ready. Turn your mat sideways here, and we'll come back to that in a little bit. So rip row, we're going, I gotta get my britches up, hold on. We're going left hand in the safety strap, so we can start on that same side. I'm gonna cinch this guy up. We had the row last time. We're gonna do that same thing, but we're gonna add a spear. You can keep your hands in the mid zones, or you can put your left hand in zone 1 right by the safety strap, or your right hand in zone 4, kind of near the center junction, but on that other grip, if you want to make this a tiny bit harder. So center of the bar is lined up with the anchor. I'm gonna walk back just a little bit. I'm gonna row the bar into my chest, and then I'm gonna take it straight to the right, spear it out to the side, come back to my center of my chest, and then come back out. So row, spear to the side. I'm keeping the bar close to me, back in, and back out. Like I said, this should be a high load, low speed exercise. I'm trying to keep my body square up to the anchor the whole time. Rest. So we're going to face sideways now for our rip stack, and we're going to add a squat to this. So left palm is going to stay down in zone 1. Right palm is going to stay up in zone 4. I'm going to step in a little bit. I'm going to find my stack position. So cord end of the bar is going to go forward, left hand to my hip. Once I've got that stack position, I'm going to take a squat. I'm going to come up, and then I'm going to release. And if you want more, step out. Find the stack position first, body tall, left hand to hip, bar right in front of that left hip. Hold it there as you squat, as you come back up, and release. Make faces and grunt if you need to. Last one, stack, squat, stand, release. All right, so we've got an incline press this time. So both palms down. Like I said, you can stay in the mid zones if you want. If you want it a little bit tougher, zones 1 and zones 4. Facing away from the anchor point. This time I'm going to press my hands up overhead but in front of me. Okay, so a little bit higher than my head, and then I'm going to walk forward to add some load. Bar to chest, incline press a little bit higher than your head. Bar to chest, incline press. Now try not to hinge at the hips, so you're keeping the hips straight. Knees can stay slightly bent. Like I said, we're going for high load and resistance, but low speed. Rest. Let's do all that on the other side. So drop the bar, uncinch, slide your hand through, recinch. Both palms down, rip row with that little side spear. So both palms are down. You can stay in the mid zones, or right hand to zone 1 by the safety strap, left hand to zone 4. Pull the bar to your chest. I'm going to start in a little bit closer on this side. Spear straight out to the side, keeping the bar close. Back into center and forward. Then you can switch if you want some more. Back it up. Row, spear to the side, back to your chest, back out. I'm trying not to rotate anything in my torso or hips. Row, spear, center, and reach. Oh, that makes my face hot. We're going rip, stack to squat. So right palm is going to stay down in zone 1. Left hand is going to go palm up in zone 4. So almost to the center, but still on the grips. Sideways to the anchor point. Right hand to hip this time. Bar reaches right out in front of my right hip. Find that stillness. Squat down. Stand up. Release the bar. Add more load if you want it. Shoulders back. I'm pointing the bar right in front of my right hip. That cord is out in front of me. Find the squat, dropping the tailbone back, straightening the knees and hips, and then back. I gotta tuck this right shoulder back because I just felt it crush forward. Stack, squat, stand, and release. All right, incline press. Both palms down. We're facing away from the anchor point now. Hands can be in the mid zones or zones 1 and 4. bar to chest, press up a little bit overhead, but still in front of you without leaning forward. Walk forward to put tension on that strap, bar to your chest, press out. Now what we did when we changed the hand zones is we put the cord, the resistance, further away from us. It's changing the vector resistance, which I know you don't care what that means, but it basically just means we're adding a tougher load and a little bit of torque to this exercise to make it tougher on our chest, arms, and core. All right? We'll be back to that in a moment. Put that down. Trx Lunge. Now, your strap should be at mid-calf length. We need to go single handle mode. So if you don't know how to do that, just drop one handle, but I like mine tied together. So I'm going to use this triangle section above the handle. Top handle is going to come, I'm just putting one on top. The whole thing is going to go through the bottom handle so they switch positions. Now I have a new top handle. Do that same thing. Top handle through the bottom triangle so they switch places. The bottom one is what we're going to use. I'm going to pull it tight and use that foot cradle. So I'm going to tuck my right foot in, and I'm going to take a knee. I want my foot to be directly under the anchor point if I can get it there, and my knee that's on the floor in line with my anchor. So for this lunge, if you would like to hold on to a wall or a chair or a foam roller or something to have some support, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, two-hand touch, hover the back knee off the floor 1 inch just to make sure you got it with this leg. I'm going to stand all the way up, pull the knee through, come back down, two-hand touch, drop this knee towards the floor. If you feel good with that, move to a one-hand touch. So if my left foot is on the floor, my right hand is going to touch, and I want to drop this back knee to the ground or maybe an inch above it each time. All right? Body nice and tall, shoulders back, proud chest. 2, 1, and rest. Now, I'm going to do the same thing on the other leg. So I'm going to take this foot out. I'm going to put the other leg forward, reach back, put this toe in, and I got to think about the same setup, all right? So is my foot directly under the anchor point? Is this front shin kind of vertical, so knee right over my heel? I'm going to start with a two-hand touch just for some balance. I'm going to hover the back knee 1 inch off the floor. I can already tell I'm off balance, so that's why we do this setup this way. Knee hovers. I'm going to flatten my back. Stand up, straightening this knee and hip just like we did earlier, and I'm going to pull this knee through. So like I said, you can touch both hands to the floor. Try not to take down my Trx side. Or you can take one hand to the floor. But what we're doing is we're taking this little hinge forward and then straightening up at the top, all right? So it's like a lunge with a hinge, or almost like a little deadlift or split squat, but a little bit more lungy. All right. Rest from there. So we need to take our straps apart, and we need to get both toes. No, we don't. No, stop. Don't do that. I lied. So I'm going to take my right foot in. Okay. I'm going to turn my mat to the front. Sorry, we got single leg side planks here. We're moving on. Ooh, I'm way far away. I want my foot directly under the anchor point. All right. This top foot's going on top. Elbow to the side. If this doesn't work out, just cop out of the straps and do a regular side plank. I'm going to straighten this leg. I'm going to lift my hips. I'm going to push off of this hand and foot. Keeping my balance, I'm going to hover this foot out in front of me, straighten the hips, and then if I've got it, take my hand off. This is a quick 20-second plank. See, it's already over. Hand and foot down, and then set yourself down with some control. We're going to do another set just like that. Bottom leg straightens, the one that's in the straps. Hand and foot are going to help press you up. I'm going to come up on this elbow. I'm going to hover the foot in front of my other one. I'm not resting it because that defeats the purpose of the single leg plank. Hips are high and straight ahead. And then if you want to take that arm off, you can, and try to keep this hip right on top of the other one. Okay, hand down, hips down, and relax. Let's put our other foot in. So my left foot is in, and I'm going to roll over onto that side, okay? So when I roll on the side, whichever the bottom leg is, that's the one you want in the straps, okay? So for me, it's my left foot. Right hand and foot on the ground in front of you to support. Left elbow under your shoulder. I'm going to press down through my shoulder for a long neck. Press the hips up, keeping this hand on the ground. I'm gonna hover this right leg right in front of my left one. I just felt my hips drop when I did that, so press up first. And it doesn't matter if the hand comes off or not. But basically, you're gonna feel this in your left lats, obliques, and hip and booty on this left leg. All right? Right hand, right foot on the ground. Press off with the help of those guys. Straighten this left leg. Hover the right leg. And then if you've got that with your hips up, arm off, and now try to straighten your hips and open your chest to the front. That left side of your body should be working like a champ. Hand down, hips down. Whew. Oh wait, was that 2? Yes, it was. Okay, last set, guys. This is round 3. I'm gonna take my mat back that way just for a moment. We've got the rip pitchfork. All right, so this is our last time with the rip. Safety strap on the left hand, cinch it up. So we've done the row. We've done the row with the spear. If this pitchfork doesn't work out with you, go back to either one of those. I'm gonna go palms down in zones 1 by the safety strap and zone 4 by the left end of that grip. I want you guys to face the anchor and get close first. And I want you to take the bar like you were gonna spear it to the side, but up on the diagonal, kind of towards the corner of the room. Now, I'm gonna walk back holding that position. I'm gonna squat and point the bar towards the anchor. I'm gonna stand and take the bar up and overhead. Squat, point the bar to the anchor, stand, bar overhead. So it's like I'm baling hay over my shoulder. So I'm gonna add some more load here. I got 10 seconds left. Squat down, come up and hold. Squat down, come up and hold, straighten the knees, straighten the hips. Whew. There's a lot going on with that move, but it gets your whole body, which is what I love about it. Now we're going to the rip windmill. I'm standing sideways. My left hand is palm down. My right hand is gonna go palm up. You can be mid zones or 1 and 4. Find that stack position that we've already had. Now I'm gonna raise a bar and like kind of draw the shape of a clock. So I'm gonna go up to 12 o'clock. This is my 9, but you're 3. And I'm gonna make a little circle, keeping tension on the strap the whole time. My body and torso and legs are trying to stay forward. And I'm gonna rotate a tiny little bit, but not a ton. And rest from there. It's a whole lot of work in 30 seconds. I know 30 seconds doesn't seem like long, but now we're gonna do the rip rebounder. Palms down, mid zones or 1 and 4. Face away from the anchor point. Find that incline press that you had a minute ago. I'm gonna go a little bit higher this time, but not over my head. I'm gonna bring the bar to my chest and squat. When I stand up, I'm gonna find that overhead press and I'm gonna raise up to my toes. Squat, press, squat, press. Like I said, we're still going for high load, low speed and control. Now this bar is trying to pull me back. I gotta be able to handle it. So if I can't handle it, I need to scoot back. And rest. So usually we jump that, but I turned it into a strength move by cutting out the jump. Let's switch sides. Uncinch, slide, recinch. Rip pitchfork first. Both palms down. Your power cord should be coming off to the left this time. I'm gonna take away a lot of tension first. Pitch the cord up and over your left shoulder, and then walk back. Add some load. Point the bar to the anchor as you squat. Pitch it over your left shoulder as you come up. Bar to the anchor as you squat, over the left shoulder. Now, if you don't have enough resistance, you're gonna twist a lot and that cord's gonna hit you in the face. So load up a little bit at a time and then come up. The cord should be nowhere near your face, but I just felt myself leaning back. Try not to lean back so much. It might happen a couple times, I won't tell anybody. Rip windmill. So we're gonna face sideways to the anchor point. Right palm stays down, left palm stays up. Mid zones or 1 and 4. Shoulders are back, right hand to hip, bar out in front of you. I'm gonna raise up to like 12 o'clock. I'm gonna go away from the anchor point with the bar. I'm drawing a big circle like around the face of a clock. Up, I'm squatting when I get down to 6 o'clock. I'm coming up as I get to 12 o'clock. I don't know which direction you're facing, but You want to go away from the anchor as you come down, towards the anchor as you come up. Woo! All right, rip rebounder. Palms down in the mid zones. Or zones 1 and 4. Actually, I'm gonna go mid zones because my overhead shoulder mobility is not the best. Put facing away from the anchor point, center of the bar in the center of your chest. Press up overhead. Find the balance on your toes first with straight hips. There's a lot of work for that left shoulder. Squat, bar to chest. Stand, heel raise, arms up. Squat, bar to chest. Now, can you hold it for just a second? Even if you got to bail, that's okay, go for it. Straight hips, down, up and hold. Down, up and hold. It's a lot of tension through your knees, your hips, your ankles, your shoulders. Whew. Holy cow. All right, done with that guy. Trx Lunge. Trx Lunge. We're gonna put the right foot in the foot cradle first. We're gonna go from the lunge into our side plank, so just be ready. Now, my knee is down. Hopefully my foot is under the anchor point. If you've got a mirror in front of you, you can check that out. Now, like I was saying earlier, if you're familiar with the Trx Lunge and you have done this one before several times and you feel good, be welcome to grab some extra weight if you want. If you are not familiar with it, don't use any weight. You don't need to throw off your center of gravity anymore. Start with that 2-hand touch or 1-hand touch. Everybody else, we're gonna add some weight. So first I want you to do a couple reps without the weight, with the body straight up tall. So no hinge this time. Drop the back knee to either touch the floor or to that 1-inch hover. Come all the way back up. Slow and controlled, straightening this knee and hip every time. If you're ready for weight, grab that weight, slowly shift your weight into that front leg. Take the hover first to make sure you got it, and then continue along. I love to use a sandbell personally, rather than a kettlebell or something hard, because if I lose my balance, I can just chuck it, and I'm not worried about it. You can always come back down to the safety of the ground. All right, from here, we're going to that side plank. So keep your right leg in. I'm gonna turn my mat this way, because this wood floor is brutal. And then I'm gonna come down onto my right hip for the side plank. We're just doing it this way for efficiency's sake. So, elbow down and to kind of load up that right hip from different angles. Straightening the bottom knee out, taking the top hand and foot forward. I'm gonna press down into this shoulder, straightening this suspended leg up, and then pressing my hip up. We got 20 seconds here, so I'm gonna straighten this leg, find my hover, hips high, and I'm gonna find my balance. Now, if you've got this and you're like, Amy, I want more. All right, take that knee to your chest and back, and we've got a second set, so you can do that the whole next set. I say that, but is that right? Oh yeah, we got a second set. Hang in there, ready? Straighten the leg, hips high, hover the foot, find that straight line, so chest forward, hips forward, and then keeping the hips up, knee in, knee out. You can even take the leg forward and back out, but the suspended leg needs to be totally still. If you're dying, return the hand and foot to the ground and come down. All right, so we have the Trx Lunge on the other leg. So I'm gonna put my left toe in this time. I'm gonna flip over, I'm gonna move my mat. I move my mat sideways because a mat on a wood floor is like slippery city. So I wanna make sure that my knee has cushion, but my foot is planted on the floor. If I step up on this mat, it might slide out from underneath me. Maybe not, but let's just be safe. So, foot underneath the anchor, hopefully. Front vertical shin here. I'm gonna take my hover to make sure I've got this with this leg. I'm gonna stand all the way straight on this knee and hip, pull the knee forward. Now I'm gonna take a couple reps with gate swing arms, because I'm trying to keep my head over my hips the whole time. If you feel comfortable and you want the weight, go ahead and grab it, but get that body up tall. Load the leg first with that 1-inch hover, make sure you got it. Stand up, pull the leg through. All right? Breathing helps. I'm gonna take one more to make it a good one, and then I'm gonna find refuge on the floor. Weights away. I'm gonna swoosh my mat back around, and now I've got my single leg side plank on the left side. So my left leg is in, I'm gonna lay flat and turn sideways. I wanna make sure, because I didn't see my anchor, so I want my mat to be lined up, okay? So I'm on my left hip, left elbow under the shoulder, free limbs are in front of me, okay? So pressing down through the shoulder, hips are high, leg is straight, okay? I'm gonna find the hover. I'm gonna find the balance. I'm straightening my hips. This left side, ooh, feels not as strong. But remember, you can take that knee if you want more on this second set, okay? For anybody that's like, this is too much, I'm not ready, keep the hand and foot on the ground, all right? So hips up first. I'm pressing through my shoulder. I'm gonna take the hover. I'm gonna lift my hips, and then I'm gonna find my balance. Right knee comes into the chest and back out. Can you do that and keep the suspended leg still? Remember, you can take the even harder foot in front of you if you want it, but we're gonna stop there for now. Oh man, okay, I'm sweaty. I have like everything I need except a towel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with a little low lunge. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my right foot in the foot cradle real quick. And you can do this with your leg on the floor if you want. I like it with the straps because it enhances the stretch. But I'm gonna take my left foot forward. So we're gonna start in a low lunge and we'll move to a hip flexor and quad stretch. So right hand down. If this is enough for you, shifting your hips forward, you can stay there. If you want more, straighten that back leg up off the ground, and I can press into it this way. All right, I can take a little shift back and forth, and I'm gonna press my hips down and my right arm up and over to just intensify that stretch, okay, and relax. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So I'm gonna take this out. If you can't reach your leg up and behind you and grab it, no big deal. Just do it from the front and then turn that knee down to the floor and then put your right leg in front this time. So I'm gonna reach my foot kind of far in front of me, tuck the hips under and shift forward. Like I said, you can stay right here. You can take the left hand down if you wanted a little deeper stretch. You can take the back knee straight if you want an even bigger stretch. And if your foot isn't gonna fly through your foot cradles, you can flex that foot. So press your heel back on the handle. Let's drop the knees there, shift the hips forward, take the left arm up, and one final little side stretch into that hip flexor, and relax. All right, so we got a little posterior chain stretch. This one, I would do this for 5 minutes if we had time, but we're just gonna do it for like 30 seconds. Right heel in. I'm gonna line my right hip up with the straps. If you can, grab your foot, okay? Is that already over? Oh no, we got time. I gave us sufficient time. So, hand to foot or just hold on to your leg. If you can touch your forehead to your knee, do that. If not, just drop your chin down. Now, I'm gonna slide myself forward towards the anchor point, straightening out the leg, but I'm only gonna go as far as I can go, keeping my head to my knee. Hold for a second or two, and then I'm gonna come back up. Second set, do it again. Deep breath in at the top, then big exhale. As you lean out, you might be able to go a little bit further that second time, and then back up. If you only go 2 inches, no big deal. Head to knee, if you can get it there. Take it forward. The goal here, we're trying to get a long stretch from the head all the way down the back side or the posterior side of the body. All right, that's why we call it the posterior chain stretch. I'm gonna take this foot out, switch the other foot in. So my left heel is in. I'm gonna line up my left hip with the anchor. Grab your leg, your foot, your strap, whatever you can reach. Forehead down to your knee if you can make it there. Slowly take it out. Now this side could be better or not as good as your first side, so take your time. Go to the point where you feel a slight stretch. Hold it for a second and then come back up. Deep breath in. Big exhale out. This is one of my favorite stretches, and when I do it on my own, I usually do it for about 2 minutes on one side, and then I take maybe like a 60-second break, and then I do a couple minutes on the other side. So that's what I mean when I say I would keep us here for 5 minutes if I could. Oh, my left leg doesn't get all the way straight anymore. That's a bummer. Oh, and up. Whew, nice job, guys. What's next? Ooh, chest stretch. We get to stand up. I'm gonna get my mat out of the way. I'm gonna separate my straps. Ooh, I stood up too fast. Stand up slowly so you don't get the head rush. All right, facing away from the anchor point. Thumbs up, hands are palms forward. Shoulders are rolling back and down. And I'm gonna step forward until I feel a nice chest stretch. Now, it's easy for me to like let my ribs stick out of my back arch. So what I'm gonna do is try to keep those in so that my torso or the center of my body is super stable, so I can get a little bit more stretch from those arms, from my shoulder joint. Here, I feel this in my chest and my biceps. And rest. We've got the long torso twist. So I'm gonna face the anchor point. I think this is our last stretch. We're gonna do it on the right and the left. I'm gonna straighten my arms out, facing the anchor point. I'm gonna take my left foot, cross it over my right foot. So my legs are twisted, but my upper body is kind of facing the anchor. And then I'm gonna rock my hips back. Actually, I'm too deep. I'm gonna walk my feet back a little bit. I'm gonna drop my hips back away from the anchor point. I'm lengthening out my torso as long as I can. Now I'm gonna bend my front knee, which is the left knee for me, and I'm gonna stick my right hip out. Now I feel that in my right hip, and if I pull my hip back, I'll feel that in my lats and obliques, so that whole right side of the torso. And I'm gonna come back up slowly and reluctantly, because I'd really like to stay down there longer. So I'm gonna face the anchor point. This time my right foot is gonna go across. All right, my upper body is facing the anchor point. I'm gonna drop my tailbone back, really with my left hip, away from the anchor point. My head is kind of hanging between my arms, and I've kind of come up on the side of my left foot here. All right, so that foot can stay flat if you'd like it to be. I'm gonna readjust myself here so I can bend my front knee, which is the right knee. And now I'm gonna reach my left hip like I'm pulling it away from the anchor point. So that way I can really get into my left lats and obliques. I feel that all the way down the left side of my torso. Ooh. Oh, all right, guys. So, I don't know about you, but I'm sweaty McSweat. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that workout. Like I was saying earlier, it's all unilateral based today. So one side of the body is working against the other one, or the other one is stabilizing while the other one's working. So you may feel your upper body tomorrow. You may feel your torso. You might feel those inner thighs and glutes from all that stabilizing on the rip and those lunges. Either way, I hope you feel great. I hope you got a little bit of a sweat worked up. And yeah, if you need anything, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.